Good afternoon, everyone. As the topic of the presentation is the future of fruit and veg processing in Australia, let me be very upfront. We have, and by we I mean Coca-Cola Amatil, have made a commitment that we are going to make this particular investment work in Australia. So most of you would have seen some announcements probably starting off in May last year, and then in August when the restructuring was announced, or actually transformation was announced. And we're in phase one of that transformation. We have given ourselves till 2015 to achieve what we need to achieve from a business transformation point of view. I happen to sit through the Barry Irvine presentation, Bega, and it's actually inspirational. Hopefully you'll get the same sense of what we need to do as what Bega have done, which is we need to get out of commodity, we need to invest, we need to stay the course, we need to value add, all of the things that you would have heard. That's exactly what we need to do. So the commitment has been made. We've been very overt in communicating that within the Golden Valley that we're staying. Right now we're in the process of finishing off the finals. We will continue to use the Marupna site for warehousing and other ancillary activities, but we've made that commitment, and as I said, I'll steal Barry's words. We're going to stay the course, but it is a big change that we have to go through, and hopefully you've seen some change in the stores when you go there in terms of the products that we are now producing and the products that we will produce, because a big driver of our change is to become more consumer and customer centric. The big driver of our change is our new purpose statement, which is naturally good food anywhere, anytime. And that is about leveraging new processing technology, that is about leveraging new packaging technology. We are no longer going to be canned fruit, that's Nana's product. We are going to be fruit in packages. That's a slight nuance, but that you will see a very different approach, and you will start to see our product not just in Coles and Woolworths, you will see it in a lot of different places driven by packaging. So that's pretty much my presentation. Thanks very much. But now I'll get on to the crux of what we're sort of dealing with. But I just wanted to put that out there up front, because I know that obviously there are a lot of our competitors who are moving offshore. We do have offshore facilities, but that's for our international markets. 95% of the products that we sell in Australia are Australian, and that's a commitment that we've made for our brands. So Golden Valley will always use Australian peaches, pears and apricots. That doesn't mean to say that we will go in, we will not source products that we can't get from Australia, but in our own backyard we will use our products, and Ardmona will always be Italian, that's Italian slip. My mum will be happy with it. We will always use Australian tomatoes, and we've made that commitment. I think she's sitting on my shoulder. I'll go the traditional way. So, but before we work our way to 2015 and be the new Bega and be inspirational to somebody else down the track who's in this industry, we've got to deal with some of the realities, and they actually will be the new realities. They're not cyclical. We think that they're going to be around for a while. Then obviously that leads to some threats and opportunities, and I'll sort of go into the future for processing. So this will be no new news, so I'll go through this pretty quickly. The reality that we're working with is obviously slowing global economy. This is a business that 5 years ago used to export 30% of its volume that it used to produce. It's now down to about 4 or 5%. That's pretty much gone. Food security is going to be a major concern going forward. That's an opportunity for us. Prices are going to be historically high. We've basically factored in that the Australian dollar is going to be at the levels that it is now, probably higher. we've got to work around that. We have no choice but to work around that. Retailers, not only in Australia, we deal in New Zealand, we deal in the UK, we have a business there, we deal in Canada. They're all growing in power. They're all looking to increase house brands, so that's a reality. And also there's an increasing value expectation from consumers. So all of that new reality basically means we have to change and get out of the space that we are in today. I'll quickly go through these slides because everyone's probably heard these a dozen times today already. There's a downgrade in the global forecast, mainly in the developed markets, which we are in today. So today we are mainly in the old Commonwealth countries, the UK, Canada, obviously New Zealand. They're all getting a little bit depressed, and we have less activity in Asia, which again is an opportunity for our business. In terms of the food security and shifting consumption patterns, which are going to influence our strategy, the key line there is innovation and sustainable productivity. That is the critical thing for us in terms of moving forward. We do have to improve our productivity. There's a gentleman in the audience who's done some consulting work for us in the past. If you don't believe me, go ask him. He'll tell you the productivity levels of the Shepparton site, I think it was, and the lack of innovation that this business has executed in the last 10 years. As somebody who's only been in the business for a couple of years now, innovation is actually at the core of this business. This is a business that created plastic jars. This is a business that created plastic cups. So within the DNA of SPC Ardmona, actually breakthrough innovation is part of that. Unfortunately, for all of the external factors, we lost the focus and just moved into a commodity space, but it is at the core of what we need to do. So my job is to reinvigorate that component of the DNA.